And more so during summer holidays. Now, parents of that generation used to cross-dress us and completely confuse us in the name of fancy dress competition. Panirkingla. It's the biggest scam ever, no? Because fancy dress was for us, but competition was somehow between the parents only, no? Aansplaining is about the first time that I ever felt like a man in my life. You know, that first rush of testosterone running through your veins where you realize that you're no longer a boy, you have become a man. You're no longer just another Velu, you have become a Nayagar. Yeah, where somebody comes to you and says, "Ay, inume ipditha." This show, like Nayagan, starts 35 years back. Our pair Babina. Babina was my classmate. Now 4B section, I have a 4A section, so there was a class divide between us, but there was also a gender divide, right? Because I was a boy and she was a girl. But we were at that stage in life where gender really didn't play a role in our lives yet. And more so during summer holidays. Now, parents of that generation used to cross-dress us and completely confuse us in the name of fancy dress competition. Panirkingla. It's the biggest scam ever, no? Because fancy dress was for us, but competition was somehow between the parents only, no? Because the parents will only use us as insider information saying, and then they will get ready to show their artistic skills that they don't have. Yeah, because குழந்தை பிறக்க போறதுன்னு எக்கச்சக்கமான கன்றாவியான காஸ்டியூம்ஸ் ஏற்கனவே வாங்கி வச்சிருப்பாங்க, which they have to பலாத்காரமா try on அந்த குழந்தை before the குழந்தை develops its own brain and understands consent. Because all those photo shoots they took of us in those clothes were all non-consensual. We can put our own parents behind bars using those photos as evidence for child abuse and borderline child pornography. Yes, because of these slaps, even today South Indian girls have embarrassing topless childhood snaps as Lord Krishna, or Dadi snaps as Tiruvallur or Bharadiyar. Kushku Mushku boys will become Radha. Emaciated boys will become Auvayar. I desperately at that age wanted to be Spider-Man, yeah. They made me Bharat Mata. I was an entire country embodied in a woman with my pallu constantly falling. At an age where I didn't know if that was shameful or sexy. But I remember society constantly akkaraya telling me, saying, "Palluva pottuko." Why? For your own protection, it seems. At that young age, I realized how powerful this pallu is, yeah. If it can protect an entire country, it is nothing short of nuclear weaponry. In fact, later on in life, when I saw these photos of myself for the first time, I was like, "Oh my God, yaar idu? Is this my sister who probably got lost?" Then as I grew up and I understood the system fully, I realized, oh, it must be my sister who my parents probably had to kill off. Oh, it's a dark joke, no? My sister also probably was, otherwise she may have survived in South India. That's a dark joke, everybody. In fact, in the late 90s, when I went to Bangkok and Thailand for the first time, and I saw cross-dressers and trans people for the first time, my first thought was not gender. My first thought was, fancy dress! It's so ironic because these were the same parents who got very thrown later on in life when their own son or daughter identified as their daughter or son and proved that gender, like sambar, is also fluid.